Right, how's the setup? Looks good, looks good. Ugh. Alrighty then, let's get this start then, shall we? Hello one and all, and welcome back to Dentat and Discrimine. Season 4 lies within. Last we left off, our party had accepted a mission by an ex-detective to perform a sting operation. The party accepted, and along with that, a handicap to not use an ID ability, as per Mirai's request. And now the party investigates a brothel by deciding to play the long game and getting themselves in closer by getting a job. And with Ryu, or Billy I mean, doing his thing. After a month, is the party getting closer from their goal? That's what we're doing now. Take no one, you're beating the curtain, man. You watch as you sing. I wonder what those eyes are sweet. Right, so alright, so Tokyo and Fantasy, is that Toblerone? Nice. I was gonna say Toblerone. Toblerone. Anyway, so Billy's like, what? You guys finally got accepted to work at the brothel? And Fantasy is like, what? No, what made you think that? Although that would have been great. Nah, after being temporarily hired to work as maids, our boss gave us a word from his friend, and yeah, he's telling us we can transfer to a much safer and much higher paying club. That's what Fantasy has said, and Billy is oh, well, that's not very good. I mean, that's not very good at all.
Sino nga itong feeling girlfriend ni Billy? Yung maraming mata?
No, that's not how you spell Amy in Japanese.
Kumoko Amy.
I can spell it in hiragana too if you like. Actually, I forgot the hiragana for spider. There's like 12 strokes in it. So what are you guys gonna do about that thing? I forgot what you call that thing where you get invited to work at a different place. What, a transferal? I don't know.
Yeah, transfer.
It's not like we actually want to work at a better place. More importantly, can't we take this transferal thingy as evidence that the club owner you guys are working for is totally oblivious to the brothel business happening in his place?
Kaya lang, we lack of evidence.
Indeed.
Still don't have a hard evidence.
Indeed. If only we could like get someone to confess or
And ano
somehow.
pa ba mission natin dun sa club na yun? Bukod sa malaman na may something fishy dun sa club.
Yeah, that's literally all the ex-detective wants from you. Evidence that there's indeed an illegal child prostitution service
Pero wala
happening.
tayong kukunin ng mga katulad dun sa mansion.
Yeah.
Wala.
Yeah.
Parang detective lang tayo, investigators.
Yeah. We're doing, that's what the sting operation
Kaya hindi
is.
tayo gagawa. Kaya walang kid ability kasi mga ordinary, ano lang, gangster.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that means for sure that, well, not really, but at least we know that the boss you're working on doesn't know about the brothel. But wouldn't that put a bit of a damper on our plans? Fantasy talks back to Billy and is like, "Wow, are you thinking, Billy? That's rare." Billy responds, "Hey, I can think too. I have a brain if I try hard enough." So, what do we do now? What's the next plan? I mean, I'm still probably gonna be doing the same thing I've always been doing.
Let's ask Mirai if she has any idea.
You want my advice? I am not particularly all that good when it comes to stuff like this. Although intel gathering is a bit of my specialty. Give me a moment.
No?
I believe for now, the plan for Billy, what Billy is doing, should be
Continue. Let's
should
just
be
continue.
continued. Yes, and as for Panacea and Tokyo, I believe it would be best if you guys rethought your strategy. It's clear now that the boss is unaware and is very much not willing to let you guys work, even if you guys were able to blend yourselves in and pretend that you guys were underage enough to work at a child prostitution brothel at least. Since that means we can rule out the possibility with a lot of certainty that we can't find the true owner of this brothel, which would make things a little harder for us, since the boss would be our best way of getting to prove there's illegal goings on happening.
Yun ba
But
ang mission natin, ang mapa-close at mapa-huli yung real owner, not own. Kasi manager, nagbo-work lang din naman siya eh.
yes, that is technically the true goal of this sting operation, and this operation can be shut down once the sting operation is successful in finding, absolute evidence that something is happening. On the lack of the
I think let's continue our role as a teenager. What do you think, Panacea? We have to continue deceiving them.
Yeah, I guess we have no other choice, do we? It helps pay Billy to continue doing his 10-minute runs and gathering. Oh, and speaking of, that was supposed to be Mirai saying that might actually be your best chance. Billy is your best chance, rather. He's been frequenting that place once a week, am I correct? And you've been hanging out with the same person? Who was she again? Kumoko Amy, I believe. And yeah, I guess you could say we're close now, although we haven't done it yet. That's fine, I guess, but on the lack of physical evidence that could be showed, I believe your best course of action is, rather than going for evidence, you should instead be trying to go for a confession, an admission that a person is working there.
So, kailangan i-push through ni Billy.
Yes, try to get someone to admit it and record it somehow. And And then once you have that recording, you can use that as evidence/testimony, and that would technically be a job well done. Sometimes sting operations go for testimonies rather than hard evidence sometimes, and sometimes that's usually more than good enough.
Yeah, I think I can do that, Speedy. Kasi pabigay na si Ivy, di ba? Nakukuha na niya yung loob. Okay, let's do this.
Are we sure Billy's actually getting through Kumoko? Like, what's not to say?
Yeah, I believe in Billy.
She's just really good at what she's doing. Alright, then for now, let's continue working so we can once again get enough money for Billy to get another at least 10 minutes in. So with that, the party once again continues work as usual. Tokyo and Panacea gracefully declines the transferal, and the boss agrees to let them stay working as maids. Meanwhile, Billy's continuing to work his store clerk job and painfully dealing with all the customers that appear every now and then, all the Karens and stuff, until finally or actually, meanwhile though, somewhere within the slums of Tondo, Manila, a girl weeps at a bed where a man is sleeping, and has a lot, and has like one of them masks and machines and stuff. As she's crying, well, this is way too happy-go-lucky for this kind of scene. I know I have this. Yep, there it is. She's weeping, and then she looks at her sick, terminally ill father, and makes a vow, a promise. I promise I'll do whatever it takes to make sure you survive this, Father. You're my only family. Whatever it takes, I'll do it. And so, this young girl of age less than 13 potentially walks up into the bar, the same bar you guys are, going on, and then she talks to another person. So, you would like to work at my place, would you? Finally, we return to Billy. It's finally Sunday once again, and he finds himself once again back here. I think it's a problem I find this place a familiar and fine place to be in once a week now. That seems like a serious problem. Anyway.
I am enjoying it, Sabini.
Ah, man, there's no way I could actually... am I actually finding this enjoyable? Oh no, that seems like a problem. Maybe I should get a therapist. Anyway, Billy browses through to the very bottom once again, but he finds something rather peculiar. Along with Kumoko, who has been like the only the lowest costing thing, a new person has been added there. A person who calls themselves illustrious, and she's new. She's in the same rank as Kumoko. Huh? Is this a new guy? That's interesting. That said, though, is Billy gonna continue going with Kumoko?
Yeah.
Alright, that's good enough. Billy decides she'll continue doing it with Kumoko since that's sort of part of the plan, and rather not take any risks ruining their chances by going with someone else instead. Besides, not telling who this person is could be not as kind, forgiving as Kumoko. So he goes with the safe option that he's been doing from the very beginning. Once again, they're back at Kumoko's room thing. And once again, they're simply having a nice meal
Chit-chat.
with soft drinks and non-alcoholic, other non-alcoholic beverages because Kumoko is underage and not allowed to drink. You'd think I wouldn't care about not being about drinking alcohol, considering how I'm working here and all. She says as she fidgets with her chalice cup shape thing. But I never found alcohol all that interesting to begin with. So, you might have noticed it, haven't you? I can tell you might be somewhat curious, aren't you? There's a new guy. She got in here just this week actually, and I gotta say she's very annoying. She calls herself illustrious, was it? Something about doing something for her father or something. Not that I really care, but she certainly seems to care a lot about me. After bothering me so much, I eventually caved in and told her about myself. And that was when I learned that she is a filthy Catholic. Or, well, not really, I have nothing against Catholics, but she's very preachy about her beliefs. Since she's a Catholic, I gave the snarky remark on like why she's even working here and stuff. Her father may be sick, but selling yourself, that's gotta be like against the teachings of the Lord and stuff, right? But then she went on to say something along the lines of, "Oh, God is forgiving. I always go to a confessional in the nearby church after finishing my work." Something along those lines. But I don't really care. But that's enough about me. Anything interesting you'd like to share during our short stay? She takes a sip as she waits for Billy to begin a conversation of his own.
Si Billy na?
Yeah?
Ito kwento. I just came out from work and I go immediately here when I got my salary. Sabihin ni Ivy, "Oh, you're flattering me."
No, it would be more along the lines of, "Oh, in that case, I can deduce that you have a serious problem." You know,
No,
friends
I'm
aren't
just-
supposed to cost this much.
Yeah, but I'm happy talking with you,
Ah,
Amy.
I
And-
know men like you. You're lying to yourself. Come on, there's no need to hide your true feelings. Kuboko suddenly gets closer to Billy and shows off her epic curves. You know, you're free to do it with me anytime you like.
No, I just want I just want to listen to your story and why you're still working here. You're still young. How much money do you earn that you're still staying here?
She turns back to her table and begins playing with her chalice again. You really are such a strange and interesting character. You know, Uh, Illustrious kind of reminds me of you. She's so against doing what she's doing, and all she really cares about is talking and getting to know other people. In fact, I'm pretty sure people who's gotten to work with her, not that there's been many, all have given her bad ratings and stuff. Honestly, it's quite annoying. I came here so that I could avoid all of that and just enjoy being physical. And yet here I am having you as my one and only returning customer. And you won't even give me the only one piece of remaining pleasure I have left in this world. Don't
Okay.
laugh at me.
No, I'm not laughing. I think, I don't know what to say anymore. I just want to see you. Magagalit ka ba if I'm coming here, if I want to see you, if I want to talk with you?
I guess you could say that. Although, it has made me somewhat guilty, especially
No,
to you.
don't need to. You don't have to.
You only consider me... I really still don't understand why you're doing the things you're doing, but I can't help but feel really responsible for this. I never had any friends in school. I'm pretty antisocial. My grades aren't all that special either. People tend to stay away from me and consider me a freak, especially considering my hobbies and stuff. And yet here you are, paying just so you could get 10 minutes to see me once a week. I feel bad, you know. Honestly, if that's really all you want. I could tell, maybe you and I were the same. Lonely people who are just trying to get closer with each other and who just really wants someone to be with. Perhaps that's all I really want as well. Would I have really achieved that by working here? I don't know. All I know is, since we're running out of time, let me impart you with one final thing. Suddenly, she stands up of the table and grabs a piece of pen and paper and begins scribbling something down.
Nag-confess na siya.
Take this. And Billy takes it, and then on the tiny little piece of paper is a number. That's my phone number, and also my address is there somewhere. I live in an apartment somewhere on my own. Not really the best of places to stay in, but due to my circumstances, that's where I live and that's how I do things. If all you really want is someone to talk to and a friend, you don't need to pay so much, and we don't need to limit ourselves to once a week every 10 minutes. You can promise me at least that you won't be coming here anymore unless you're really willing to do it with me. Otherwise, I'll just feel really bad. I feel like all I've done is waste your money and your time so far. I feel like this is the least I could do.
Okay,
With that said, it's time to go. Alright.
So, paano yan si Billy? Nakita niya sila Tokyo at si Panacea, tapos sabi niya, Billy. Ibig sabihin, di pa rin niya napag-confess.
But...
So, dapat si Tokyo at si Panacea ang gagawa ng way.
Nah, you're forgetting something rather important during that last thing. Kumoko has talked about a potential way you guys can get the evidence that you want.
Yeah, pwede na silang mag-usap sa labas.
Nah, something else. Come on! You can't be that stupid.
Nag-confess na siya, di ba?
Billy talks about what he and Kumoko discussed and showed them the paper thingy. Tokyo and Panacea are thinking through what Billy has just said. Wait, you really don't get it?
I don't
Then perhaps someone can roll logic.
Ako na lang, si Tokyo.
Yeah, she's the one with the highest logic. Logic 3.
Saan ang logic ko? 3. So, 8. 4, 6, 8. 11 and 5.
And
16.
11 and 5. I did say it was pretty obvious, but like, the more obvious it is, the more harder it should be to get it by rolling, because it should be something you should easily figure out, but I'd say a 15 is good enough. Tokyo suddenly realizes, wait a minute, Kumoko talked about that new guy, right? And you mentioned her too. Apparently she just came here last week. Illustrious, right? Didn't Kumoko say something about her going to church to do confessions?
Babae ba yun? Lalaki? Lalaki?
It's a girl!
Ah!
It's a child female prostitution brothel.
I see. Okay. So, yun na lang ang tatrabahuhin ni Tokyo at si Panasiya ay friend nila since parang kailangan din niya ng someone.
Well, friendship would be a viable option, but that takes too long. She says she goes to a church and get a confessional. Honestly, I'm not much of a Catholic. We can't exactly turn ourselves into nuns, but what we can do is find this confession booth and find a way to implant some sort of a recording device.
Okay.
And that would be all the proof we'll need, wouldn't it?
Wow, very nice idea, Panasiya.
I thought it was pretty obvious. It's nothing special. Yeah, you're right. That's real good. So, any idea where this church might be and how we can implant this device without looking too suspicious?
Yeah, I think there's a nearby small church along the street of this club. We can go and check it out.
Yeah, just a block away and such. There's like a nice and messy church that not a lot of
Small church in town, yeah.
people visits apart from Sundays, and there is indeed a confessional in that place. So with that, you guys decide to head there next morning. Someone is playing the organ. And apparently there's a choir as well. There's no mass being held today. It's the early morning and you guys have arrived at the church. So, here we are. So, what exactly are we doing? What did we bring? How are we planning on doing this?
Yeah. We're going to implant this recording device inside the confession, and then we just wait for the girl to go in.
Doesn't seem like it'll be that hard. Do we actually have such a device though?
Yeah, we have.
We do?
Meron tayong budget. Malaki naman ang ano natin eh.
Yeah. I guess. Well, there's nothing in your inventory. But I'm thinking whether or not I should make your guys' lives difficult or not. So you guys find the confessional. Since you guys have only a wealth level of 2, I will need, that means the things you guys should be able to purchase won't be all that great in terms of the device. So, I would like for everyone, or at least just the one with the highest persuasion, to make a persuasion check. Okay then, everyone has a persuasion score of 0.
0.
So, just roll a d20, I guess. See what you get.
Okay. 19.
Not
Wow.
bad. Alright, so you guys do indeed have a device, but it's rather cheap. It doesn't connect via Bluetooth and stuff. It's like a wired recording. So basically, how this is going to work is that place is going to have to be placed somewhere, and the wire is going to have to be. It only has a range of like a few meters. So essentially, someone has to be near the confession and listening in on the conversation so they can start and stop the recording at the correct time. Any idea how you're gonna do that without looking suspicious?
Yeah, Billy can pretend as a priest.
What? Me?
Yeah, you have to wear white, an abito, white dress. Tapos kami ni Tokyo, me and Panacea will guard the priest room so that he can go out.
Well, damn.
Kailangan, so Billy, you have to finish it as fast as possible so that no one could suspect or yeah.
Indeed. I talked to Kumoko.
Para wala nang mga wiring, hawak na lang niya para habang nagko-confess.
I talked to Kumoko and asked her about this illustrious girl, like how often she visits. Apparently she arrives at late night. With any luck, she should show up tonight as well. So we should try to enact our plan. We can enact our plan right now, honestly. So I guess
kailangan ng pumwesto ni Billy, okay?
Are priest clothes just something you can buy?
Huh?
Are priest clothes like something you can just buy anywhere?
Hindi, magdanakaw sila dun sa sampayan, makikita nila na, uy, sakto. May nakasampay dun sa back of the church. Hindi sila bibili.
Alright.
Lahat is ang tawag ito? Improvise.
Alright then. Let's do this.
Siyempre, work nila yan eh. Kaya alam nila kung paano mag-improvise.
Alright, improvise sneaky sneak. Tokyo is gonna look around and try to find and sneak some clothes. She should know Billy's measurements and stuff. So, let's do this. I guess roll for agility.
Agility. D10. 16 and 6.
That's a 22. I would say that's pretty cool. You were able to, no one was able to find you, and you were able to find the closet or whatever, and you find something that's a good enough size for Billy. Hopefully no one will notice and no one will mind. Meanwhile, Panacea has discovered where the priests and nuns and stuff normally gather. We don't know. Panacea doesn't know.
Midnight na yun, di ba? So, antulog na sila. Mga nakalock na.
I guess that's right. Alright, so Panacea will wait until someone would exit to go to the confessional booth so that Panacea can do something and prevent it. So Billy will be the one at the confessional.
Yeah.
All right.
He will be the father.
What's her plan to do that?
Kapag nag-confess ka naman sa simbahan,
Ah.
hayaan mo lang magsalita ng magsalita yung
Yeah,
confess.
yeah, I'm aware. Now, I mean, how does Panacea plan on preventing the confessional priest from going to the confessional without resorting to murder, hopefully?
Wala, lang. Kaya nga di ba sabi natin, we have to do it as quick and fast as possible.
Yes, and how is Panacea's job is to prevent the confessional priest from going to confessional? How's she gonna do that?
Makikipag-usap muna siya kay Father pagkalabas.
All right. So,
Baga magdadrama siya na, Father. Pero usapan na kay Billy na you have to do it fast, quick and fast.
all right. Tokyo and Billy finally meet up, and Billy wears this thing as quickly as he possibly could. Meanwhile, priest heads out, and then he sees Panacea and then, "My child, what are you doing over here? Is there something the matter?"
Father, I have a big problem. Meanwhile, si Illustrious pumasok na sa church.
You know, priests are pretty dumb and always willing to listen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you should roll, but yeah, no need. The father just immediately accepts it and just like, "Very well, my child, you're free to talk to me about anything." With that, Percy is already successfully do things. She doesn't even have to lie. She already has indeed committed some stuff that she doesn't like the thing she did with the maid and stuff in her backstory. So meanwhile, Tokyo arrives at the confession, and then she keeps watch, and then she sees a girl, and then she's like, "That's gotta be illustrious." Kumoko sent Billy a picture, and and her face matches. "Billy, she's coming in. Be prepared. As for me, I'm gonna hide, backflips away or something. I don't know."
Okay? So let's do this.
So finally, so Billy starts the recording, and as long as he stays silent, nothing needs to be done and stuff. Alright, so finally, Illustrious enters the booth. Billy can't see, but so can this illustrious woman. "Father, I have come once again to confess my sins, although with the rate at which I'm going, I am unaware if God, or anyone for that matter, is still willing to forgive me for all I've been doing. I've been rising through the ranks, and people have been enjoying my services. I feel so guilty, but it's all for the sake of my father. I don't know what else I could do. He's very sick, and unless I can get any money, I'm gonna be so distressed." Does Billy want to say anything?
No, yan lang din ang ganun.
The girl goes on and on, but what Billy really needs from this confession isn't just an admission that she's working at the specific place.
Okay, then doon na papasok si Billy na, "My child, everyone commit mistakes, but the important thing is we lift it up to the Lord. So tell me, why and what are you doing that you're saying that you have to do it? What is that?"
Make a presence roll, I guess.
Okay.
Billy makes the presence roll. His presence is 3. I checked.
3. 17 and 6, 23.
Hmm. Alright, so Billy channels his inner priestness and begins to speak. My child, do not worry, for God forgives all. So long as you are honest, and since it is as you say, for the sake of family, God will be more than willing to forgive. But you should be honest and tell where you do this work of the devil, so that it may be cleansed by your confession here at the booth or something like that. And with that, she's like, I work at this place, bar, whatever, location, name. I haven't come up with any. And it's a child prostitution place with like high paying and stuff. And after divulging all that, Belly has basically heard more than enough. Except for Illustrious, it's not enough. She's still going. She's still confessing and still sobbing.
Everything is in there, inside. Sex, drugs, alcohol, money.
Actually, she stopped talking about her prostitution since a long time ago and has moved on to other stuff, even petty stuff such as taking a sip from the juice of her classmate because she really wanted a taste and she wouldn't, and her friend wouldn't get it to her, and on and on and on. Billy's getting real tired of this.
Hindi, tsaka nagmamadali eh. Kailangan natin makatapos agad, makalabas bago pa
Indeed.
So, ano sa pinibigin?
Billy is like, holy shit, this is taking too long. If I just go away, that probably won't be much of a problem, but like, that might be problematic. Meanwhile, Tokyo, who's still outside, she's waiting impatiently when suddenly she notices and takes a closer look. There's a nun, and she's coming closer. The bathroom, she seems to be heading for the bathroom, but she's gonna pass through the confessional as well. What are we gonna do? There's a problem now. Someone's approaching. What do?
Lalapitan na lang agad ni Tokyo. And mag-a-ask siya ng what time is the confession. Or mag-a-ask siya ng nagugutom siya kunwari para dalhin siya sa kusina. Mawala yung ano niya, yung direction sa confession. Iba kasi yung way ng banyo dadaan sa confession. Yung kitchen sa iba. Sa lalapitan na ni Tokyo agad. Ano i-roll natin?
Alright, so Tokyo gives a quiet enough knock so that Billy could feel it, and she whispers to Billy.
Pero kumatok na siya sa confession ng dalawa. Ibig sabihin nun,
yeah.
sinabihan, warning na kay Billy na you have to end it now.
Yeah, you got to get out and deal with this quickly. So now Tokyo rushes towards the nun and tries to misdirect, which would be a deception check, I guess.
Deception, yeah. Then,
hello, young one. How may I be of assistance?
7 and 4.
A 7 and a 4.
11.
An 11. What did Tokyo say again?
Sister, can I have a bread or anything that I could eat because I feel dizzy and hungry.
Oh my, but judging by your clothes, it doesn't look like you're someone who is uh, fair,
Can't buy.
being troubled financially. Pray tell, what could have caused this to happen? Are you perhaps being abused somewhere?
Yeah, no, sister, but my wallet and my bag got snatched. So I came here to ask for a help for some water and then money so that I could go home because I don't have my bag, my cell phone, my wallet.
Oh my, you poor thing. Very well, I'm afraid there's not much we can offer, but do you have any relatives? If I talk to them, I'm sure we'll be able to reach somewhere.
Yeah, si Mirai. Naisip ko kagad si Mirai na tatawagan. So,
Alright.
magigets naman ng ni Mirai yun. Alam naman ni Mirai yung ano nila, di ba?
I
Lahat
guess.
ng ano nila.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Billy's all like, alright, I believe you've done enough. God forgives you. God has heard more than enough. It is clear that despite your sins, you are still a kind person willing to change and be good in spite of all your actions. So, bye. And he dashes.
Tapos, meanwhile, kalato ko yun naman at father.
Alright. Panacea is there now as well. And like, wow. What a coincidence. Two lost herds, two lost lambs who have lost their way and are looking for a way back. Yes, I found this girl and apparently she seems to be someone who is quite hungry, Father Pucci.
Father Pucci.
Eh? It's a reference. You'll understand in December 1.
Tapos
Vic.
nagkatinginan na si Tokyo at si Panacea. Ibig sabihin, mission accomplished. Kailangan na lang nilang makalabas kung paano sila makakalabas doon. Si Billy kasi nakalabas na eh, di ba?
Oh my! What could these two suddenly be going on about? Well, it is hardly in my place to worry about. Anyway, since you two are apparently relatives, and a relative of yours have already been called. She should arrive here at any minute now, and hopefully you guys can finally do something about all these problems you guys are having trouble with. I shall be here to ensure it goes smoothly. Rest assured, I, along with God, will protect you from any harm, be it physical or mental, especially spiritual. In the meantime, would you like to listen to me chant the words and loveliness of the words of God to appease your cruel lost souls? As they say, the best food is always God.
Meanwhile, nakita nila, naglalakad na papasok si Mirai. Yun na yung sundo nila, nakahinga na ng...
Fancy and Tokyo are like, oh my god, this priest is the worst. Meanwhile, yeah, they see Mirai and then she winks and that means Billy's already made it out. So now it's only a matter of time. The trio, along with the priest, Tokyo and Panacea do some role play that they've been having some trouble as a family. But after a while, they pretend that even despite this, they're willing to forgive and they like hug and they like cry. And after all that, Pucci's all like, Hallelujah! God's mercy has finally reached through these poor souls. It seems you guys have finally found an agreement. Rest assured, God will watch over thee. But in the meantime, hopefully, this will not happen to you poor souls as well. Your family is your blood, and that is very important. So it is of utmost important that you guys should stick together and be nice to each other no matter what. Heed my words, for they are the word of God. And now you may go.
Amen, Father.
Thank you so much for helping us be together again.
Okay. Ayan na, nakalabas na sila.
That, you guys, there's like a square nearby. All four of you meet up, and Billy's like, I got it. So now, that took us a while, and that was certainly less than pleasant, Mirai said. I hate the church. If only they knew who they were worshipping was right in front of them. And Billy's like, huh? Then never mind what I said. So, you guys finally got the evidence? All we gotta do is contact your client and send it to him. And the rest will be, the rest is easy peasy. Yep, the rest shall be up to them.
Mission accomplished na?
Yep.
Oh.
And so, with that, you guys meet up once again.
Nakapagpahinga na sila ng maayos.
With your client, the ex-detective guy. So, I hear the sting operation was successful. It certainly took a while. But, you have it, don't you? So where is it? Tuck your hands, the recording thingy. That right there is a confession from one of the child prostitutes, child workers working at the place. In there, they state the location and the name of the place she works in. If you take that to someone, I'm sure they'll be willing to open up a proper investigation to see if the testimony seen in that confession is true. Very well then. You've done well. So, I guess it's time for me to send you your proper reward. There he lands in a briefcase. As for me, this is probably the end of the line for me. So, before I go, I also made a promise that along with the money, I'd be giving you guys information. For I have lots of connections and I know lots of people. I hear the Angel Seekers are looking for something in particular. If you tell me what you're looking for, I may be of service.
Sabihin ba nila, ay secret mission lang naman nila yun, hindi nila pwedeng ipagkalat na meron silang binubuo.
Well, you can rest assured my lips will be sealed regarding any information you disclose to me. It's the least I can do. After all that, considering you guys went through 1 month and a half just to get this mission done from me, my selfish little request. So you guys can be selfish as well.
Okay? Sino mag-explain? Si Naray na lang?
Alright?
Ikaw na lang.
We're looking for discs. You need not know what these discs are for and why we're collecting them. But it is of utmost importance that I find all of these discs. They all look like this. This disc. Takes a closer look at it, tries giving it a feel. Ah, I see. I have indeed encountered a disc of similar nature to this before. My child, she used to attend in a school, the Bizarro Academy. It's somewhere here in Manila, you see. That's that. She's the entire reason I decided to do this sting operation. The whole reason I was fired. She was hired to work there, and there she was raped and killed.
Oh. Anak ng pulis na rape tas napatay.
Yes, in my desire to uncover the truth behind it, I decided to do a sting operation, but I was caught, and then I was fired. But with this, I could finally stick it to those darn people who fired me and finally get my revenge. So yes, a rumor has it, at least according to my late daughter, that there was a guy, or was it a gal, I can't quite remember, who had that disc and carried it around him for some time. If with any luck, that student, or at the very least that disc, might still be there in that confounded school, which was also partly the reason why my daughter came to do the work she did. That is all. You've involved yourself more than enough in my petty little squabble. I will go now. With that, he leaves. Your mission is over, and you receive your reward. You are once again back to wealth level 3. So hell yeah. You no longer need to involve yourself further. As you guys are heading back to the base, so that you guys can call it a day at last, you can't help but notice Billy, who looks rather worried. You know,
Amy.
I just can't shake the feeling that what we've done isn't exactly all that good, you know. I mean, this is something we've always done, but this is the first time I've ever tried getting along with our so-called villains. Kumoko. Once the thing's been found, she'll be fired. Along with that, Illustrious as well, wouldn't she?
No, not
Isn't
really,
she doing
not-
this job? It
Maybe
wasn't.
she will go to an institution of yung mga bata na dinadala sa ano. Kasi nga napariwara ang buhay. Anong tawag doon?
I guess.
PSWD,
But I can't
social worker.
help but feel something we've done is bad. Who's to say those guys will really allow Illustrious to help her terminally ill father, you know? What about Kumoko? Although she isn't suffering from something, there is no doubt what she's doing is giving her some form of comfort. Taking that away, is what we did truly the right thing? Billy, we aren't exactly righteous here. We're not Superman or Robin Hood or something. We're the Angel Seekers. We're mercenaries. We do stuff because people ask us to do it. Of course, we do have our own code, and we aren't exactly going to go blow up White Houses and stuff. But it's safe to say we aren't exactly good people as well. The consequences of our actions, it's something we just have to accept. We can't save everyone. We
And
simply just
Billy-
do what we do.
And Billy, you have to make in mind that when we get some work, our emotions are not involved in any of those.
Damn. Well, I can't help but feel bad, but I guess all I can do now is hope everything works out for the best somehow.
Because when we get into our emotions, our work may be affected and can't do our thing. So we have to do our work. What is work?
Mirai speaks up. If I may, I once knew someone who did similar stuff to you guys. She didn't much care for life neither her own nor her others, which is why she worked as a hitman. But then, over time, she started changing, and the people she killed and stuff started changing. Uh, Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm just trying to comfort you, Billy. But I am not really all that good at that. I'm quite selfish, you see. So yeah, I'm not exactly the best party member anyone can have. Don't worry, you've been more than enough help, and this training exercise of not using our ids, I think it helped.
Okay.
Even if it's not emotionally, at least.
Okay, tapos sasabihin ni Tokyo, since it is a successful job, we deserve a party!
Hell yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. That's one way to lift the mood, of course. That's what we always do whenever we finish a
Yeah.
mission. So let's go. We got plenty of money to splurge. Let's have a party tomorrow. And everyone raises their hands, and Mirai is like, oh, such children, and she joins along. Finally, it's like the next day. You after doing a short feast with your grandmother, although she's confused and like, why? What's the celebration? Why are we having such a grand feast? And you're
Pero
like,
nung ano yan,
don't worry about it, Grandma. Tokyo.
Kay Tokyo. Ang kasama na lang ba ni Tokyo sa ano niya is grandmother. Sa
I guess.
Panasiya, mayaman sila, di ba? Buong pamilya niya.
Mm.
Si Billy naman, all alone na lang.
Yeah.
Si Mirai,
A
No
mystery.
background.
You
Yeah.
don't know.
okay. Parang ayoko na nak. Nantok na si Mami.
Hmm?
Let's go party, sleeping. Let's
Hold
go
on,
sleep.
we're almost done. Frick, I want to play.
Parang na-involve talaga ako dun. Parang feeling ko ako talaga yung nasa loob ng church. And ano.
Oh man, and I almost forgot. I said I would ask this before we started, but better late than never, I guess. This is something I do every now and then whenever I'm playing. It needs to be asked because it's very important. Are you enjoying the time we're doing this game?
Yeah, I am enjoying, but I don't want it to be too long. It's
Well-
not enjoyable anymore for me.
We'll end at 11. We pretty much finished this arc, so we'll
Okay.
spend this next 15 minutes remaining foreshadowing and doing the finding out what our next mission's gonna be.
Okay.
It's gonna be
Tumawag na ba ulit?
no, not yet. For now, you guys are partying.
Party.
Yeah, there's some loud music and stuff. You guys are in the HQ now, and everyone's drinking and stuff.
Pero si Billy, nasa isip pa rin niya si ano. What if, sabihin ni Billy sa group, what if Kumuko I will call her and bring her here and to join our force. What do you think, guys?
That wouldn't exactly be a bad choice. You did tell us once that apparently she might have an id ability. She discussed that with you. How is your relationship with her anyway? Actually, that's the mysterious part. I haven't been able to get in contact with her at all. Maybe she's just busy. I mean, it is still early and it's a Tuesday. She might still have classes. It's been a day. No need to fret. There hasn't been enough time, but I can't help but worry a little bit about it. On another entirely different topic, although this might not be a nice topic to talk about during a party, elections are coming soon. It's all the news lately, and boy, there's been some drama all over the internet and stuff about it. Apparently, everyone that's running up so far has been really terrible. Here, I'll let the news do the explaining. There's only one person people seem to be willing to vote for now amongst all the other various parties. The thing opens and there's a commercial, and it's from one of the political parties. It's like a castle, and it's zooming into and then now it's inside, and there's a guy. He turns around and he's like having a thing. What is a man? Nothing more than a miserable pile of secrets. But enough talk. He throws his chalice and then it shatters. I am Vladimir Tepes. But one might say I am more fittingly called Dracula. If you vote for me, I promise to rule this country to the best of my ability. Humans nowadays, all they have are secrets. If you vote for me, I will ensure there will be no more terrible secrets. No more terrible child prostitution places, maybe. That's been on the news. I saw that. You see, I'm informed as well. And you too, and I promise everyone else will be informed. If you vote for Vlad Dracula Tepes. Organ music plays, and that's the end of the thing. Our country is real fucked up. If that's the only party people consider good worth voting for. Yep, it's real terrible. He promises more surveillance, less secrets, and all that shit. That might sound good, but surveillance is hardly all that good and hardly solves any problems. In fact, it usually tends to just create more problems. But yeah, if he does win, it might be a bit of a problem for us since we are in secret, and he wants stuff like us to be taken out. I hardly see him as any of a threat. He's nothing but an egotistical bastard who thinks he can change the world if he became president, Mirai said. I doubt he'd actually be able to get it to the chair anyway. For now, let's just continue enjoying the party. Yeah. So, the party happens, a few days pass, but so far, contact with Amy has not been very successful. But Billy was straight up considering. Yeah, it's been closed up a long time ago. The person has already been arrested and stuff. As Billy was considering going to the address and paying a visit to Kumoko directly, suddenly, Panacea says, we got a new client.
Interesting.
And it's got a strange mission for us. Something we haven't exactly done yet at all. It's a family. Apparently their daughter has gone missing, and they want us to look for them.
Wow, interesting. Walakpak pa, may nawala na.
At least they're worth hearing out, I guess. So after a while, the party agrees to hear them out. So now they're having a meeting. The family arrives. It's a couple. It's a man and another man. It's a gay couple.
Okay.
Billy's
lang
like,
pala nila yung nawawala.
Orphan, gay couple, family. Why does this all seem somewhat familiar and foreboding? Oh, it's really horrible, and I believe it's partly my fault. It's surely my fault she's doing this. Now, dear, there's no need to worry. I'm sure everything will turn out right. Thank you for at least hearing us out. Please allow me to explain the situation since my husband here isn't exactly in the best of moods. First, allow us to show you a picture. Although I hope her face doesn't get you afraid or anything. But here it is. You take the shows the picture, and this is the picture. Her name, she is our daughter. Amy Arachna is her name. She's a high school student at Bizarro Academy. Suddenly the name strikes you. Bizarro Academy. That's where the ex-detective told us an disc might be. That's what goes on to everyone's minds. Oh, there's the smell of a conspiracy. We're willing to help in any way we can. The detectives are still too busy if there's something, so they can't help us right now. There's something about busy filing out about this child prostitution thing. And we tried calling the dean of our school as well, but they say they're busy as well. We are afraid if we don't take with this sooner, something horrible might happen to our child. So please, we promise we'll help in any way we can, and we'll pay you in however much is necessary. So please.
Nasabihin pa ni Billy na kilala niya si Amy?
That's up to you, I guess, if you think it can help. So the four of you guys huddle up, and Billy's like, "Holy shit! These guys, their daughter is the guy I almost who kept asking me to have sex with her."
What do you think, guys?
And it's
is
also,
it okay if we were gonna tell them that their child is working as a prostitute, or we just keep quiet and
we don't know. We don't know if if her family was ever even aware of, in the first place, that they worked. If they find out, that might just cost them more. That might just cost them more worry, and that won't exactly be helpful for any of us. In the meantime, though, I believe it is of our best interest to really hear them out and accept this. Bizarro Academy. That's where one of the id discs are. If you take away anything else, that is the most important part of this request we're hearing. It's best if we hear them out and hear and do stuff. So after some huddling, they agree to hear them out. So used to we're more than willing. So as we've said, our child, he's a high school student at Bizarro Academy, and a lot of things have been going on. We've been trying our best, but that child, she's really been going through so much. It's our fault. We should have noticed. We should have done something sooner. You see, our child, she has quite a few peculiar hobbies and interests at our house when she still used to live with us, at least. She had a house for spiders, and she sure loved spending time with them as well. As a result of that, she was apparently bullied a lot in school, and made fun of her for having spiders, being an adopted, and having a gay couple as a family.
Gay parents.
It's our fault. All we know, we never knew much about her school life apart from the fact that she was in a lot of trouble. And apparently she belonged to a club known as the Freedom of Expression Club. And it was actually thanks to them that this was first that we became aware of this. She's been missing for a whole week now. A week? Isn't that around the same time we were able to finish our mission with the child prostitution place? We've attempted as much as we could to contact them, but to contact Kumoko, but we've had no luck. As we already said, we already reported this, but so far they haven't done anything. So, uh, left with no other option, we remembered about you guys and the jobs you guys have been doing, and we figured it was the best. If there's anything else we can provide, we have school uniforms, and I believe one of you guys can be able are fitting from it. It belonged to Kumoko.
Si Balasiya panigurado ang papasok ko dyan.
To our daughter, please help us. We're more than willing to pay. Mirai suddenly speaks up. You know, we've been meaning to investigate that Bizarro Academy for some time now. I believe it would be mutually beneficial if we accepted your request. So rest assured, we shall do whatever we can. Of course, as long as you guys are willing to pay. And they like, oh, please, thank you, bless you.
Any amount we can give it to you.
We're more than willing to pay whatever is required of us. With that, a new mission to be continued.
Yeah. Gano'n naman si Mami at matutulog.
Who'd have thunk?
Kahapon nakatulog ako sa dito, no?
I don't know. I wasn't planning on having Amy Arachna be involved in the child prostitution thing. It was mostly just supposed to be filler, so I could have time to prepare more. But then as the story happened, I improvised and decided, yeah, this will be a great way to foreshadow your next main mission, which would be Amy. Yeah.
Ang galing ko si Mami mag-back in story.
I guess you help. Like I said, it was thanks to you I was able to improvise and come up with a cool foreshadowing thing regarding your next main quote-unquote enemy, but not really. So yeah, you'll be investigating Bizarro Academy next. And finally, we can have some more enemy wielders. This is gonna be great. I have a bunch planned for this next arc, and it's gonna be awesome. Well, look at this. I was expecting you guys would sneak around and maybe get into a few scuffles with the brothel. So I had an enemy planned, but you guys never fought him. Here it is. It's in the recording now, so at least my preparation for this wasn't in vain. Yeehaw! That was the best.